And we're live.
So like we were talking about Pandorum, like I think it probably was good, but I don't really hate any actors or actresses, but there is something about Dennis Quaid. I hate Dennis Quaid. I think he's
Oh,
terrible. I've
really?
never seen there is as long as I can remember, like if I am scrolling past something and I'm reading the description of a movie and it seems interesting and then it says starring Dennis Quaid, he is the one name in all of Hollywood where I'm like, I think I'm gonna go watch a Nick Cage movie because I actually like Nick Cage. It's funny how like not good he is at a lot of his acting roles, but I like him. I can't help but like Nick Cage. There's something about him. Dennis Quaid, just I don't know what it is. He never did anything to me. It must be some movie I watched when I was a kid, and I'm like, this guy fucking sucks. I hate him. Are there any actors like that for you guys where like you'll see the name of the man or woman and you're like, maybe another day?
If I see Jack Black, I'm like, nope, not doing it.
The only Jack Black, like I can't watch Jack Black actually try. I've got to watch him in something like Pick of Destiny, where he's just like sort of playing himself and his own like thing. But when I can't watch something like School of Rock.
Oh, I thought School of Rock was good.
I thought School of Rock was good, and I think he played himself in School of Rock, so I'm not following really. Like to me,
he's just got the one character really.
He plays Jack Black in every movie.
He plays Jack Black in every movie. I will say, I watched the Jumanji: Welcome to the Jungle, and I enjoyed that way more than I expected.
Same.
And he was kind of not Jack. That's one of the few movies where he was not Jack Black. But every other movie, he's always, oh, I'm crazy guy. I'm going to raise my eyebrow. Ooh, aren't I funny? And I'm just like, no, you're not funny.
That's what Will Ferrell did to me. I loved Will Ferrell. I thought he was the greatest thing. And then second movie, it's like, yeah, still like him. Third movie, I'm like, so this is the whole range, huh? He's just gonna be Will Ferrell in every movie. Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, are you surprised that this situation you're in is awkward, huh? Yeah.
That's how I feel about Jim Carrey.
On my couch the other day, speaking of Will Ferrell, and I was just sitting there on my laptop, and I was like, not paying full attention, not even half attention, but I'm like scrolling on Netflix or something, and I see like a movie. It's got Will Ferrell and Julia Louis-Dreyfus, so Elaine from Seinfeld, and I'm like, oh yeah, I like Elaine a lot, and I like Will Ferrell all right, from what I remember. Let's put this on. Oh, it's a movie about, and it description was like, a wacky adventure on a ski trip, brings uproarious laughter. And I'm like, okay. Ooh. And like, as I'm sitting down, like working, like it's maybe like 20 minutes in, like I'm glancing up and it's like, no laughs yet. No laughs yet. And then like, they're all sitting out, like having they're married and then they have their two kids there. They're like on their ski vacation and they're sitting out on like, if you've ever been skiing, they have those little like mountainside diners where you can stop in and get like hot cocoa or a beer or a pizza. And they're sitting there on the outside and they see an avalanche start to come down and they're like panicking. And then it gets to the point where they know the avalanche is going to actually hit that building. And so they go, hey, everybody's freaking out. And Will Ferrell just stands up, grabs his phone and runs inside and leaves his family out there. And like, I was like, oh, that's kind of funny. But apparently that wasn't the joke at all. The entire rest of the movie is like couples counseling of like Julia Louis-Dreyfus like going around like trying to have fun and her being like, you abandoned us and our children. How am I supposed to ever trust you? And I'm like, this is like stressing me out because I'm just watching people in a bad relationship. The kids are stressed out. They don't respect the dad anymore, but they're also resenting the mom for driving them apart. And it's like, not only am I not getting as much done as I should, but I'm not enjoying this.
Yeah, I like some Will Ferrell stuff. I really like Step Brothers. I honestly like Ricky Bobby. And
Talladega Nights.
Yeah. Elf is good. I think everybody likes Elf. It's one of those classic Christmas movies at this point. And the one I like when actors like him and Jim Carrey do serious stuff. And his borderline serious movie that I saw that I enjoyed was Stranger Than Fiction.
Yes.
Where he's got the inner monologue going and it's like he doesn't understand like what's going on. It's like narrating his life and he's going a little batshit crazy from it. That's interesting. And then with Jim Carrey, the Number 23 is pretty good. The Truman Show, he kind of plays it straight. It's more of a drama.
I would
that
say
was a really
very much
sad
plays
movie.
it straight. Yeah.
And then Man on the Moon. Man on the Moon, what's the real person's name who was on
Andy
SNL?
Kaufman.
The Andy Kaufman story. That's his finest performance. like him as Andy Kaufman. I think some people will be turned off because it's so wacky, but what you've got to keep in mind is it's a fifth as wacky as Andy Kaufman actually fucking was.
Oh yeah.
He played Andy Kaufman in a movie. I want to watch that.
Man on the Moon, dude.
Andy Kaufman was hilarious. You know his like shtick where he used to get up there and he'll be like, "I will out wrestle any woman in the audience."
That's a huge part of the movie. Like him and Jerry the King Lawler, like that's a huge part of Man on the Moon, the movie, and it tells like his real life story. You know, he was on that TV show. Was it called Taxi or Taxi something or another?
Taxi.
With Danny DeVito and a few other people who went on and did big stuff. Kaufman was, I don't know, he's, if you don't know who Andy Kaufman is, just watch some clips. He was a very unique kind of comedian. I don't know. He's his own kind of man. Very unique human being.
A showman.
You either love him or you'll hate him. I'll say that. There's parts of it I'm just like, God, I would hate to be in the same room as this human being. I would have to kick this guy's ass at some point, right? Like
you can't. Like, you're not a woman. He didn't challenge you.
He's one of those people who like takes the joke way too far, and it's just like, dude, are you still kidding, or are you being a cunt right now? Like, am I gonna have to whip your ass?
That's Norm Macdonald.
Oh, I love Norm Macdonald.
I love Norm.
He does this thing
Norm is a piss.
where he takes a joke that should be short to medium and makes it extra long until everyone is like frustrated and unhappy that this joke is super. Dude, it's one joke. He just keeps doing it again and again. And I'm like, bro, like, all right, like the first time I heard it, maybe kind of funny. I kind of admire how you don't seem to feel pressure to advance your story, but at some point, this is just bad comedy.
I love him. I loved when he was on Weekend Update, and he's got that one bit. There's the bit about women or whatever, and I don't remember the whole thing, but there's this one part where like it's this real sexist bit, and the audience kind of boos a little bit, and he's like, "Oh, and just so you know, that joke was written by a woman," and the audience is like, "Oh, okay, we get it now. That was kind of funny after all." And he's like, "Yeah, how do you feel now?" And he's like, "Just kidding. We don't hire women here. They're not funny." And then they're just like, "Oh, boo again." And it's just like,
that's well played.
He takes them up and then down and then up and then down.
I loved him on Weekend Update. I like almost everyone on Weekend Update. I don't watch it anymore, but it seems like a lot of careers peaked on Weekend Update.
He was merciless with OJ when like people didn't. I don't remember what the case was, but there was some sort of bullshit where like someone at NBC was like an OJ supporter or something like that, one of the higher ups at NBC, and they were putting the pressure on like on the makers of SNL. They were like, "Hey, tell that Norm Macdonald guy to lay the fuck off OJ, all right? He's national treasure, all right? He probably didn't cut those people's heads off. Like tell him to lay off," because every week Norm is just, turns out O.J. Simpson cuts people's fucking heads off. Yeah, that's a thing. and just every week, and they fired him because of that, because he was just like, "No, fuck you. O.J. Simpson cuts people's fucking heads off. I'm gonna pick on him on my show." And they fired him.
They fired him for that.
Yeah,
I didn't know that's why he left.
He was unrelenting with his OJ bits.
He's unrelenting.
Wow. It seems like such a weird line to draw.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. You wouldn't think like that would be the hill that he dies on. Not that it's a bad hill to die on. I don't know. Like, you know what? I'm gonna take a stand. I'm against violent rapists and pedophiles. How brave of me, right?
You know, you'll get banned on Reddit for that kind of attitude.
I want to talk about that. Maybe not now, but
yeah, we'll shift to that in a little bit. And anybody who wants to see that, it's just click this link right here.
Right here.
So I wonder
there's nothing there. We're not that hands-on.
You might overestimate the production quality of the show.
We're going to bed after this.